from yesterday, or the 7th. I had left a position open, and you could see it dropped this morning with that Fed report, and then I flattened it, got out here, and that was the completion of the trade that I'd held overnight. So that's kind of where we started off this morning. If you notice, the profit and loss for the day is $1,075 up here. Of course, it's not including the commissions coming out, but that's kind of like my baseline. So basically, I would consider that starting at 0. So just bear that in mind as the trades progress here. Okay, so the first trade I did was a short right here. And I would say that's a pretty good place to get in. It started to drop right away, so I'm in the money here. I put in a stop order 1 tick below, so it would cover my commissions and stop me out if it went up, which it did. And so now I'm out of the position right here, and I wanted to try it again. I got in another short, and it started to go up a little bit. The MACD is looking okay. It's maybe a little premature. It did go up a little further and even further. And then it peaked out, and I decided to go ahead and just get out of this position because it was not going the right way. Trying really hard to learn from my mistakes in the past and go ahead and just get out of a bad position instead of riding it, even though I think it's probably imminently going to turn. And so I did, and I whittled my profits down to 500. Well, okay, so if you want to look at it that way, I have lost $500 because if you consider $1,075 to be 0, then I've lost $500 here. Okay, so here I was almost tempted to get in another short. However, I'm just kind of waiting, just a smidge, waiting, and I went ahead and did it here. I got in a short right there, and I put in a stop order at just below that wick up there. This is all looking very good, and it's a little hard to tell at the moment. I mean, the initial response was negative, but it also recovered everything and then some. Well, not quite, I guess. So it's a little iffy as to where it's going right now. If you look at the longer term charts, it does look like it's going up. And so that's one thing going against me. The short term here looks really good for a downturn. So it's not a horrible bad trade, and I did have my stop in place, but unfortunately now I have lost, let's see, what would that be? $600-ish for the day. And I kept feeling like, man, it's got to be dropping. All right, and this is looking good. I actually got in a position, a short, a little bit ago, and I don't have any stops in yet. This is all looking good. Briefly went up right here, kind of scared me at this support level right here, but then it dropped again and dropped again. And I put an alert right here at 580, which is a fairly critical support level. And that is just a couple ticks below where the price action is right now. And I decided to, just watching it right now, just decided to hang on. Okay, the MACD is looking like it's tipping a little bit. And I went ahead and reversed at this point. So I'm in a positive position right here. And I actually want to switch and do a long. Well, the MACD may carry it out, I don't know, but right now this is not looking good. I've lost about 700 now. Now I've lost 750. Almost 800 I've lost. I'm still in a long, waiting for it to go up, and it's not looking good. Really not looking good here. All right, here's the opening bell, and it went up a little, so that's encouraging. Actually, it's not encouraging because I was in a short. Switched positions so many times I can't quite remember. Okay, so now I've lost 187 on top of the 1,000 that I've already lost. So this is a really sad day. I've lost $1,100 so far. Actually, even more than that. $1,200. And this short, I'm still kind of hoping it'll come down to here at least. And I'm just kind of in the mindset of like I've kind of given up and wondering, gosh, this is just horrible. What should I be doing? Should I just quit? And the only consolation I have is that it's just paper. But honestly, this is for practicing, so that's not very consoling either. All right, still hanging on. I'm down to $1,600 loss for the day here. Whittled that back down to 1,400. It's pretty volatile today. Okay, going by the MACD, I said this should be good. Okay, right here, I switched positions. Now this is interesting because I had kind of given up at this point, and it's like if you can just keep your head in the game and pay attention to what it's doing and go ahead and get out of a position, even if it's going to be a loss. That is the best way to trade. So here I reversed, and not really sure of myself, but honestly, while I was posting this, it went zoom and went up. Oh my word, that was extremely lucky. So kind of flattened out there, and I went ahead and got out. All right. Wait a minute, did I? Yes, I got out. All right, now I got in a long down here when it dipped down. And I'm writing it up, and it's another profitable trade here. Very encouraging. Big dreams here. I thought probably it would go all the way up to that point. I was hoping. And I decided, nah, I'll just get out there. So I did, got out. Now I have whittled my losses back down to like 800 or so. All right, so I got into a long position here at some point. I must not have quite, oh, okay, that's what this is. That was a long, I felt like it was going up and it probably could get up to that point. So I got in a long and then I'm writing it up. It's kind of halting there. It's pretty high up on the MACD. Oh, I looked away for a minute and it dropped back down. It's kind of volatile, but it's pretty bullish. Okay, we're creeping up there, and we went all the way up to that line. That was very exciting. So now I've whittled my losses back down to about the $600 range again, 500, 600, something like that. So that was very encouraging. Okay, and it's still going up, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I put this order in because I thought, well, it's probably going to drop down to the gold SMA, and I'd like to get in at that point and then ride it up because I thought, okay, we're pretty strong here. We got some momentum going. It might even go up further. But it kind of came down, didn't catch my order, and I was kind of looking at the longer term, and it's like, well, it did peak out here. It's possible it will drop now. I don't know. Just kind of watching. I ended up doing a long trade right here, which probably wasn't the best in hindsight, considering that we just hit a resistance level and started to drop. But that bullish momentum carried it up. And note, I put the limit order rate at that level, that price line. Didn't quite catch there, and I lost some money. So I'm hanging on and decided, well, what I need to do is reverse because obviously it's dropping now and I should not be in a long position. So I did a small loss on this trade, reversed positions, and now it's going down, and I put in an exit order here, which is a good trade right here. And it took. Okay, so now I've whittled my losses down to about 300 for the day from, what was it, 1,100, something like that, even 1,400 was it? That's pretty awesome. Okay, so here we go. I've got a MACD way down here. We've had all this bullish momentum, and we've gotten a big drop and a pretty good upward movement. I decided to do a long trade right here, which may or may not have been the greatest thing to do kind of went flat, and I decided this is kind of a reverse order here, right where the two lines are going to meet together. And it worked. Let's see, so right there, I went along, and there we go. So I got out. I actually did not reverse, I just got out at a small profit. And it started to drop, and so now I decided to do a short position. The MACD is turning over, it is low, but all right, so now I'm in a short. All right, so we're saying an exit order here is where the gold SMA on both of these charts is located at 45.88. I figured it was probably going to drop down to that point pretty easily. This is a short position I got in here, and it went up. And then it went up to that blue SMA. And then it went up a little bit more, and I'm thinking, oh man, this is not good. Still hanging on to that short position. It's flattening out a bit. Now it's dropping, flattening out. And looking at the MACD, this is where I probably should have gotten in. Still hanging on to that short position. And I had to leave the room for a minute. When I came back, it had dropped all this way, and so I was pretty happy that it was going to drop. It did not go above that purple line again, which is very, very good for a short position. So it kept dropping. Now I'm in the green, and kind of like where I got in, I decided now I don't know that it's going to make it all the way down to this point, so I decided to go for a very small profit right here. So I got out, and it dropped all the way down, wouldn't you know it? But at least, you know, I made a cautious trade there. Okay, so now it's met this support level now, and it's kind of a critical time. So watching it pretty closely. The MACD is looking good. So I decided to do a long there, and it went flat. And then I again had to walk away for a minute, and when I came back, it had taken the order, and I got out. Now I'm back up to break even for the day and got my balance back up to 1100. So this number right here does have a huge psychological effect on me. Starting off with that, it doesn't seem like I'm losing so much if I have like a zero balance here. It's the weirdest thing. But if I start out at an actual zero and I have a red 1100 or 1400 there that I've lost that much, and I see that number up there, it does make a difference on the way you see things. Anyway, all right, so I decided to hold on here and just kind of watch it. Had another big drop, and it kind of flattened out. I think, oh, you know, it worked over here. Let's try that again. I'm kind of trading against the trend here. Not the trend of this morning, but the trend of the current motion. And I decided to do a long. Got in a long, and it's looking promising. Went up, and then it kind of dropped back down. It's like, oh, come on. It's like on pins and needles here. Come on, you can go up a little further. And I decided to lower my expectations a little bit. And then it took it. And now I'm done. So I got my profit up to, with this big number, it's really difficult to see, but it was $71.80 I made for the day. And that's with commissions taken out. So, at least it wasn't a negative balance. What can I say?